Hi friends, how are you doing? If you are a student, your goal may be to ace the GMAT and SATs exams. If you are a businessman, your goal may be to build $1 million business. If you are a musician, your goal may be to create an album. So whatever may be your goals, habits are the building blocks of long-term success. I am Guru Rajan. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, you will learn what are the steps to create good habits and what are the steps to get rid of bad habits to achieve your goals. Habit is any activity that is repeated enough times so that it becomes automatic. As we saw earlier, habits are the foundational or stepping stones for long-term success. As you may have already guessed, we are talking about the contents of this wonderful book, Atomic Habits, and how the contents of this book can be life-changing for you. The ultimate purpose of habits is to solve the problems of everyday life with as little energy and as little effort as possible. This video will give you 4 wonderful ideas to start and maintain good habits and get rid of bad habits. The first idea is to have a 1% improvement in what you're doing on an everyday basis. The second idea is to look at the 4 laws of habit forming. The third idea is changing your identity in order to keep the good habits going. And the fourth habit is to build a system for achieving your goals, not just concentrate on your goals. Whether it's losing weight, building a business, or writing a book, we always think about earth-shattering improvements that everybody will be talking about. But sometimes all that is required is just a 1% improvement in your daily routine, in your daily habits. Actually, this 1% improvement is not notable at all. It is not even noticeable, but over a period of 5 years, 10 years, when you look back at those improvements, those changes can be life-changing. In fact, let us consider a 1% improvement that you do every day. That amounts to 37.7% improvement over 1 year. 37% improvement on an yearly basis if you just make a 1% improvement every day. Similarly, if you become 1% worse every day, you almost reach 0.03% you are down. So a small change can make a tremendous impact in your destination. Actually, at that point, it might sound insignificant, it might seem insignificant, but over a period of a lifetime, it is simply life-changing. That's the power of making a very small change, a 1% change in your daily routines that's going to cause tremendous change over your lifetime. Now let's look at the 4 laws of creating good habits. The first law is about cue, make it obvious. The second law is craving, make it attractive. The third law is response, make it easy. And the fourth law is about reward, make it satisfying. Now, make it obvious, make it attractive, make it easy, and make it satisfying. These are the 4 rules of creating good habits. Just the inverse of this is true for getting rid of bad habits. Make it invisible, make it unattractive, make it difficult, and make it unsatisfying. These are the 4 laws that will get rid of bad habits. Now, let's look at how we can make something obvious. Now let's say that we want to do yoga in the morning for 5 minutes or 10 minutes to start with. Let's even think we want to do yoga for 3 minutes. After yoga we want to do meditation for 3 minutes. So we can say the exact place, the time, and very specific on how we will do this habit. For example, you can say I will do meditation for 3 minutes in the morning 7 a.m. in the hall on the yoga mat. You can say I will do push-ups in the lawn. I will do 3 push-ups in the lawn at 6:30 a.m. So please watch this. You are being very specific. You are also telling the location and the time, and you are making this habit forming obvious. So this is going to help you in forming a habit. The second law of habits is make it attractive. The more attractive an opportunity is, the better it is at habit forming. Habits are actually a dopamine driven feedback loop. So as the dopamine raises, the motivation for acting also rises. For example, how do we make a habit attractive? I'll give a most simple example that all of us can relate to. After a sumptuous lunch, so we want to have good lunch, which is what we want. But after a sumptuous lunch, let me call three potential clients. After calling three potential clients, let me watch ESPN Star Sports. So after I do something, I will get this. I'm tempted or attracted to do this. So after I have a sumptuous meal, I will make three potential calls. After I make three potential calls, I will watch ESPN Star Sports. For example, I can thank what happened positively yesterday in my life and then start reading the news every day morning. So every day morning we say we need to be grateful for something. So I will thank whatever good things happened for me yesterday and then start to read the news today. So will that be nice? So you make a habit which is being grateful for everything yesterday and then calling the potential clients. Make these habits easy for you, attractive for you to do, so that the next thing that you do is what you want to do. We want to start a habit when it's very easy, right? Humans always have this tendency to do something which consumes the least energy and it's very easy for us to do. So the third law of habits is make it easy. Let's see some example that we can easily relate to. If you want to draw more in your life, if drawing is your passion, keep pencil, a cardboard, a clean slate, or a white paper with some eraser in front of you so that whenever you have time you feel like drawing. If you want to exercise more and you want to be a fitness guy, then why don't you keep the gym bag, the clothes, the socks and the gym shoes ready for you at a place where you can see, so that whenever you see the gym bag and the shoes you want to go for training. If you are the kind of person who wants to follow a good diet, why don't you buy a lot of fruits and vegetables and keep it in a glass bowl on the dinner table with some little bit of salt or some spice to add, and then have a knife with a small plate, all of this kept ready on the dinner table so that you don't have to search for it. So when you feel like having a good diet, so you naturally fall back to the good diet option of having fruits and vegetables, so you don't find the biscuits and the bread that lie beneath it. So if you have something very easy, you can follow this, isn't it? Whenever you want to change your behavior, ask these four questions. How can I make it obvious? How can I make it attractive? How can I make it easy? And how can I make this action satisfying to me? So if you ask these four questions and if you could properly arrange the answers, your habits are formed. Work on building your identity, not changing your habits. There are two types of habits. One is outcome based habits. The other is identity based habits. With outcome based habits, the focus is on what you want to achieve. Whereas with identity based habits, the focus is on who you want to become. For example, you may want to read 5 pages every day as a habit that you want to start. I want to read 5 pages every day in the morning at 7 a.m. Instead of that, why can't you think yourself, I am a reader? You may want to write blog posts, or you may want to write a book in course of time, maybe in the next 3 years. But instead of saying, I will write 5 pages a day, you can say, I will be a writer. You can even think of forming a habit. I will manage the tasks that is given to me on a daily basis at my office. I will manage the task given to the teams. Instead of that, can you say, I will be a good manager for the employees and I will stand up for their good work and performance. So instead of saying I will manage the work, you can think of yourself as I am a good manager. So saying that you will manage a task is a habit. It's really good. It's a habit. But instead of that, thinking yourself as a manager is definitely changing your identity. So look at the habits not just as outcome based but as identity based, because after all, you can have a habit for a long term only when the habit suits your identity also. Behavior that is incongruent with the self will not last. You may want more money, but your identity is someone who spends money rather than creates money. You will always be attracted towards habits that are focused on spending money. If you are a person who wants to create good health for you, but you are always prioritizing comfort over accomplishment and training, you will always be focused on eating junk food and simply sitting on the couch watching programs. So change your identity for the habits to last long, or in other words, those habits will last long which are congruent with your identity as such. Another wonderful idea that James Clear talks about is focus on building systems, not just on the goals. So James Clear was categorical. He realized that the results he got were not dependent on the goals which he focused, but the systems which he built in order to achieve those goals. Goals are about the results you want to achieve, but systems are about the process you want to follow. So it's almost a cliche in many aspects. You might have seen the championship teams that succeed so much in sports talk about the process that they put in place in order to win the championships. Now let's take a few examples for the systems we put in place, not just the goals. For example, if you are an entrepreneur who wants to build $1 million business, building $1 million business may be your goal, but the systems are you recruit the right kind of people, and then you build variety of products in the same product line, have a good testing methodology that comes up with clear testing of the product, and then run a very good marketing campaign. These are the systems you build in order to have $1 million business. Suppose if you are a coach who wants to win a championship, so this may be your goal, that winning the championship, but you want to focus on the systems. For example, you conduct the practice sessions regularly, and then you hire a proper fitness trainer, and you have a sub coach who trains each part of the activity that the head coach will supervise. So you accordingly deliberate the task to the coaches who work under you. So all these are the systems you build. Suppose if you are a musician who wants to release an album, which is your goal, then you might want to focus on the systems like conduct at least 5 or 6 times you practice playing the instrument, and then you sit with the orchestra also. If you are having an orchestra, you sit with them and then have many of the demo sessions, and then you play the most difficult piece along with other musicians in concert. So you do all this to create a system, and then you can create a music album of your own. So the idea is to build a system rather than focus on the goals. So James Clear so emphatically, beautifully nails this point in the later chapters of this book, Atomic Habits. To summarize, habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. So if you set aside a small amount every month in a typical saving scheme, the compound interest accrues gradually. It gets accumulated over time, and in the course of 20 years it becomes a huge amount which you can rely on. Similarly, a small 1% change in your daily behavior or a typical habit that you started, over a period of time, a tiny change can make a remarkable success for you, can create a remarkable success for you if you look back after 10 or 15 years. So habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. You can also say that your outcomes are a lagging measure of your habits. Your net worth today is a lagging measure of your financial habits you started 15 or 20 years back. Your health today is a lagging measure of the good dieting habits and training routine that you started almost a decade back. Your knowledge today is a lagging measure of all your learning habits. So we can clearly say success is a product of impactful daily habits not once in a lifetime transformations. Hope you liked this video. If you like this video, please click the like button and subscribe. Please leave your comments in the comment section below on any of the other topics that I would like to make a video on. Thanks for watching.